San Diego's breaking news leader. This is CBS News 8 at 6:30.
We can change that if we act now.
New tonight, an environmental group is sounding the alarm with a dramatic demonstration in Mission Beach showing where the high tide floodline could be by 2050. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Barbara Lee Edwards. Tonight, activists are trying to shine a light on climate change, but not all Mission Beach residents and homeowners appreciate it. CBS News 8's Richard Allen is live in Mission Beach tonight with our top story at 6:30. Richard?
Well, Carlo and Barbara Lee, it definitely is attracting a lot of attention. This is that very visual marker here along Mission Boulevard, signifying where the high tide floodline could come by the year 2050. But you could also say this line sort of represents a division in this community among some people who aren't necessarily happy with this group's tactics. Drawing a line symbolically and literally through one of San Diego's most prized beachfront communities.
This line represents the high tide floodline.
The floodline in Mission Beach over the next 35 years if we don't reduce greenhouse gas emissions, according to the environmental group San Diego 350.
We know that the environment is changing and the sea level is rising.
A study by the Scripps Institution of Oceanography predicts the sea level here will rise from 12 to 18 inches over the next 3.5 decades. Now, to give you a better idea of exactly how much climate change could potentially affect Mission Beach, take a look at this Google Earth map. That symbolic chalk line was drawn from Belmont Park north along Mission Boulevard here to Tangier Court. And according to the group San Diego 350, if current climate change conditions are left unchecked over the next 35 years, this is how much more of Mission Beach could potentially be underwater by the year 2050. These volunteers say they're hoping this chalk art demonstration grabs the attention of residents, business owners, and politicians. And to some extent, it already has.
It just defeated the purpose.
Some say they're annoyed by what they see as an eyesore left behind.
I mean, they could have done it a different way instead of just vandalizing the whole street.
And while this demonstration has succeeded in changing some minds, others say they're not as convinced.
What could I possibly do about it anyway?
A good question these folks have an answer to.
There are lots of little things that we can do that will make the climate more secure for our future.
And among those little things, according to the environmental group San Diego 350, is relying less on individual cars and more on public transportation, as well as eating less meat and trying to shift towards solar energy. Now, for more information on San Diego 350 and on climate change, just go to CBS8.com and click on the hot button.
Dozens of volunteers fanned out today near the roller coaster in Mission Beach to literally draw attention to the impact sea level rise could have on low-lying beach areas in San Diego County.
Walking, running, or biking Mission Beach could one day be threatened by what's known as king tides. Expected this week along San Diego's coastline, the huge tides and high surf can cause strong rip currents that lead to flooding in low-lying areas along the beaches. Business owner Jason Dong knows all about it.
You can see even a small minor flood, there's still puddles right here.
That's why volunteers with San Diego 350 were using chalk along the Mission Boulevard sidewalk to illustrate where climate researchers from Scripps Institution of Oceanography project massive flooding will occur within the next 35 years. Due to a combination of high tides and big storms.
We've got to act now. Here, because this, Coronado, South Bay, and La Jolla are most at risk with the water rise. With just 1.5 feet of sea level rise, which is what's anticipated in the very near future, all of this will be underwater every high tide.
Like the mercury in a thermometer, scientists say the sea is rising now because water expands as it warms. They also say those higher temperatures are melting glaciers and sea ice at a faster rate worldwide. Organizers say supporting green energy initiatives and driving less would certainly help reduce the problem. Business owner Dong agrees.
Especially nowadays, people don't think longevity, they think what happened tomorrow. And you guys represent what happened, for future to come. And it's impacting, either take care of the solution now or do it, when it happened is already too late.
The High Water Line Art Project is one of similar events held across the country, including in San Francisco, New York, and Miami.
Now rising sea levels in San Diego. Some say the coast as we know it will be underwater in just 35 years.
And today, activists tried to make that point. San Diego 6's Nancy Aziz reports from Mission Beach with the group's message.
Drawing a line in the sand, or rather on the sidewalk, environmentalists try to make their point.
This will be underwater from water rising from the bay.
The group San Diego 350 says by the year 2050, climate change will bring so much water to Mission Bay, it will cover from the bay to their chalk marks on the sidewalk on Mission Boulevard.
These homes are all going to be damaged. There's going to be regular flooding.
Elsewhere in San Diego, the group says ocean waters will rise some 12 to 18 inches in the next 35 years.
La Jolla is going to be affected. The airport's going to be affected, all of South Bay.
The group collected signatures that plan to give them to the city council, demanding stronger environmental protection. Jonathan Sanders says the group crossed the line when they left a mess on the sidewalk outside his shop, all for something he's not so sure will happen.
I really don't know what nature's going to do. I don't think that they know what nature's going to do.
But the group says the predictions are based on research by the Scripps Institute of Oceanography, and they say we can redraw the line.
We can drive less, we can bike, we can walk, we can take public transportation. We can put solar on our homes. We can use less water.
Nancy Aziz, San Diego 6 News.
Un grupo denominado San Diego 350 marcó con tiras el lugar donde estaría el nivel del mar cuando la marea esté alta en el año 2050. Esto con el afán de dar a conocer al público los efectos que puede causar 12 a 18 pulgadas en el nivel del mar en las propiedades, pérdida de playas a consecuencia de los cambios climáticos y la falta de cuidado y protección por medio de leyes ambientales. El grupo pide que se establezca un plan de acción climático en San Diego.